Hello, hi. Generic levels. Levels that were made back in 2.0 and early 2.1 that had almost absolutely no substance to them whatsoever. They had incredibly basic structures and were really easy to mass produce. Many creators made them back in the day and many players absolutely despised them, but today I wanted to revive it. No, I don't want to revive it. But I don't know, I thought it would be fun to make a generic level, so that's what I'm going to be doing in today's video. By the way, I recorded this footage like over 6 months ago, so I got some old icons there and I figured I should do it in this style because I've wanted to make a video on this for a while, but my commentary in that just wasn't that good and I wanted to try this new style, so let me know what you think of this new style of video. But anyway, before we get into it, of course, please consider flying right into that subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into the building. The song I chose was Colorblind by Pandarize, which, if you played during that period, you know why. I started by setting the background and ground colors, which I did with just this basic purple, and making the ground a little bit darker than the background. I picked this background and this ground, and I made sure to change the line from 1 to 2, because this just makes it a solid line, which all levels did back then. And now the block design, I just used this basic 2.1 grass with this basic 2.0 dirt, and yeah, there's a block design, boom. But of course, I phased through this, as you can see, so I had to go ahead and add some invisible outlines there. Then I decided straight away that I was going to add the dumb coin that was in every generic level back then, which just has an invisible jump orb where you can jump up and get the coin. After that, it was time to make a spike, saw blade, and ground spike design. Of course, I went with the white ground spikes because for some reason that's what every level did back then. And the rest of these are incredibly basic. The spike is just a default colored spike and the saw blades are these little scythe looking things, yeah. So now it was time to add a little bit more detail to the level, and to do that I just added some grass and some clouds. Look, sometimes simple is just the way to go, and when you're making a generic level, yeah, simple's definitely the way to go. I then added some basic movement, which was seen heaps back then, just making some of the air deco move up and down, alternating with each other. And you can see the effect that had right here. It's starting to come together, but next I decided I needed to add some ground glow. Okay, well that was easy, so now to add a custom background, for which I just added scaled up slopes. It's a generic level, it's gotta be quick, it's gotta be easy, you know what I'm saying? And after I got that in place, you can see the level is starting to come together. So then I just started copy pasting stuff to create more of a level, and then decided I needed one more design for this part. And that was an arrow design. Of course, it wouldn't be a generic level without an arrow design, am I right? Then after adding some incredibly basic pulses that barely sync to the music, I just copy pasted the structures into simple gameplay. And after basically just extending that decoration style, we had the pre-drop complete. Yeah, it's definitely not anything special. So now onto the next part, which will be a really long and extended for no reason ship part. I started by changing the colors to a basic blue and yellow combo, and then made some invisible size change portals to every beat, just because it's really annoying, and for some reason, every level creator thought it was a good idea back then. Don't know why, they just did. And now for the block design, I made some thick sides and some even thicker tops. Then I just put some unchanged color spikes, and then added little rocks and skulls as decoration, because again, that's something everyone did back then. Then after this, wow, okay, this is gonna make it show its age. But unfortunately, I have class right now, online school. Gotta love it. It's English as well. English is like the worst. Come on, dude. I've graduated now. That's kind of insane, not gonna lie. So now, of course, it was time to just copy paste the structures throughout the whole part. I also put in some gravity portals and even a UFO portal in there as well, just to give it a little bit of variety, you know, just considering this is like gonna span half of the level. And now for the ground spikes. This is probably the most creative part of this part, even though it's like not very creative. I layered 2 default ground spikes on top of each other, making the top one black and the bottom one blue. And then I made them move to the beat like this. And that was it. That's the most creative part of this, oh my god. Then it was time for the saw design, in which I just used these ones and alternated the inside colors between yellow and blue. Then of course, adding some clouds and a custom background, which was just giant chains. And then after some more basic pulses, that part was just about done. Yeah. Okay, so now the spider part. For this one, I actually started off by actually making a layout. Probably the first part I actually made a layout for in this level and didn't just make the structure and then start copy pasting that into some form of gameplay. I tried to go with a similar style to the gameplay in Fingerdash. I decided to go with basically the same design as the ship part, but I added some interior grass and some connector deco on the inside just to spice it up a little bit. Then I made a pillar design with basically the same thing but with a chain on the inside. Then it was time for jump orb deco. And yeah, that's it. For the ground spikes, I just went with the animated spikes colored white because why wouldn't I? Then I just added some clouds and then just copy pasted the whole design to finish the part. And now for the last quick cube just before the final end bit, and for that I just did more copy paste. Then I made some obnoxious background pulses, and now it's onto the very last part. For this, I just changed everything to black and white and just went with some basic outlines. Then I added an end screen, which was literally just text saying generic. Then added this generic saw blade design that you'd see in every level ever back then. Then I just pulsed the object color to random colors and added a free coin, polished the level a little bit, and boom, that was it. That is the whole generic level completed. So I guess you probably want to see the level in its entirety. So here you go, here's the completion. Yeah, it's far from good in the slightest. In fact, this is what I wrote for the description. I know it's bad, but it was kind of meant to be bad, right? And it was honestly kind of fun going through and making something like this. The fact that stuff like this used to get featured back in like 2016, 2017 is actually insane to me. And not just rated either, actually featured. Levels like this, Depression, are featured. It doesn't even change the design. I'd argue that my level has like more than that level has. But yeah, anyway, here's the ID if you want to play it for yourself. And yeah, that is just about it for this video, I guess. It's a very different style to what I normally do for creating videos, but I've really wanted to make a video on making this level for ages. I've held onto this footage since like August of last year. I've just really wanted to make a video on this because the level's up on the servers and has been since I recorded the video. But the commentary just wasn't that good in that video because, you know, I recorded it in August. And I don't know, I tried a few different ways, a few different formats of trying to like put this into a video, and I just couldn't work out how to do it, but I think this should work pretty well. This video was heavily inspired by people like Raid Captain, who, you know, he doesn't make Geometry Dash videos, obviously, he makes them on other games, but I don't know, I really like his style of video, and I wanted to try and do something kind of similar-ish. It's a very interesting process with this, especially considering I recorded it so long ago, so I didn't remember what I did. So I had to go through the footage and kind of like split it into groups, and yeah, I don't know. Hopefully it turns out good in the end. But anyway, I'm gonna end this one off here. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll see you later.